What is up, everyone? Welcome back. This is the JR Wisdom channel. Once again, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Apologize for my tardiness here. Had a little technical difficulties as usual. Hopefully, I didn't have you guys waiting for too long here. But tonight we're just gonna hop into this topic here. Been wanting to discuss it. I actually did a live earlier tonight discussing this topic with another young lady on Instagram, and we kind of touched on these points in particular. But before we get into it, just a few housekeeping rules. I do have the if you guys want to call in tonight and express your thoughts on this topic, please feel free. The link is pinned in the chat, so you guys make sure you hit that link if you want to call in and give your thoughts as far as what you guys are looking for in a spouse or mate or a significant other. I know we had some people in the when I posted earlier, or just like I'm not looking for a spouse and nobody cares about that, and I'm just trying to do this. That's perfectly fine. But you do have some people who are looking for a spouse or significant other and don't plan on being a career bachelor, or for that matter, bachelorette, and are actually looking for someone solid to spend the rest of their life with, if you will. And there's nothing wrong with that. But we tend to, obviously my thoughts are I don't plan on getting married again, for lack of a better term. I have no intentions on doing that. But how some older heads have always said to me, never say never. You know what I mean? What's up to everybody in the chat? I want her to be, and that's what I was going to touch on. I want her to be fit, feminine, and a pleasure to be around, not asking for much. It's definitely in general what guys feel like they aren't asking for much in terms of that. But that is a tall order for some women, or they feel like, that you are asking for too much. And we got the routine, which is, become popular with the advent of Kevin talking about these things, which are some great things, which are, as he said, fit, feminine, fun, cooperative, and submissive. Is some of the basic things. Nowhere in there does it say a college degree. Nowhere in there does it say that she needs to bench press or squat, do 300 squats and all this stuff like that. Nowhere in there says that she needs to be able to, change the oil on a vehicle or anything like that. It's just the basic things that guys look for in terms of peace. Most guys, and I know I joke around about this a lot, but most guys aren't looking to be taken care of. Not a real man, so to speak. And I don't even want to go as far as saying a high value man in that aspect. Most men aren't looking to be taken care of by a woman. They're looking to have that peace. And I think that's so, we bring those things up where we say be his peace. And I think that's completely overused. And a lot of people say it and they don't even really know what it means. You know what I'm saying? But we're going to go down the line on those things. And I've covered this before in terms of those, fun, fit, cooperative, submissive, and fine, and all that stuff, which I think obviously fine should be one of them. So fit, I think most of us as guys, we aren't looking for a woman that has a six pack. We aren't looking for a woman that, you're just looking for a woman that's not out of shape. She doesn't have to be NPC competitor by any means. She needs to be feminine in the aspect of her being fit. You look like a woman, don't look like a dude. It depends on your preference, because some guys want slim women, depending on your demographic. Some guys want really slim women that have no curves. They want women, I think, of other demographics. They would like a woman where they can place their hands completely around her waist. I don't know if that's a literal thing, but I think that's pushing it. I need, me personally, as long as a woman, she doesn't have to be in shape. When we say fit, it's just not sloppy, hanging all over the place. You know, not a bunch of cellulite in abundance, things like that. But as you know, obviously gravity takes hold after a while. So if you're not taking care of yourself early on, the older you get, the worse it's going to get. Guys, we all know this. And a lot of times it doesn't get better, especially with time, with kids, so on and so forth. That wall is going to happen eventually. Some of them, it happens early 30s, some late 30s, some in the 40s. You know, you lucky if you got like an Angela Bassett or like a Holly. Some people, Holly Berry's questionable though, but like a Holly Berry or Angela Bassett. I know I'm forgetting a few. A Lynn Whitfield, who are still old, still look good for their age, or older women that's still keeping it together. You know, every man's sexual preference differs. Healthy matters for sure. Definitely, you know, it's an abundance. When we walk around, we see these things, and I think for those of us who go to the gym, depending on where you're at, and I think this says a lot, depending on you guys, your state, where you're at, look at who's in the gym. Look at who's out walking. Look who's out jogging, whether it's with a pet or just jogging just in general, depending on your location. And I think everywhere I've been, it's pretty much been consistent without me saying it. You know, there's a very small percentage, but I know at least for the gyms that I go to, who the majority of women are who attend those things. And the women who do attend aren't really going for the workout. They'll go and maybe just sit on a machine, or they'll go in the those little rooms and do the Zumba and all those things like that, but may not be getting the sweat. So we tend to see those things. But I know me personally, fit, that's my definition of it. Doesn't have to be all this crazy stuff, and all this stuff nowadays with this work these women are getting done. I talked to a woman today. She's going to Miami next week to get some work done, but there's not a shred. There's no sight of her. I know she does. Just by looking at her, you can tell she doesn't work out, but she's going to Miami to get some work done on Tuesday. Whatever that $10,000 package, the BBL and all this stuff like that, obviously you're not going to keep it up because you're not working out in the first place. But her purpose of doing it is she's going to dance. That's what she said. She's going to get that done so she can go and dance. So she's doing it to make money. Some women aren't even doing it to make money. But once again, you have to keep that stuff up. You know, especially you got women in their 30s that's trying to do these things, and maybe looking to dance, or maybe looking to live out this pole dream that they once had. You know, instead of really taking that route, because it's easier to spend that $10,000 and go back to a trailer or go back to an apartment, which never made any sense to me, which a lot of women will end up doing, or have just investing that money into a body that they really might not even make any money off of, so to speak. You know what I mean? I see you, Kayla. I'm just finishing up on here. Feminine. This is obviously the biggest one. This is what people are constantly talking about, the whole feminine aspect, where you can't, it's like you have to negotiate with a woman to be feminine. Basically, you have to unlock the key. You have to present the right key to her. I think, like my man said on a video he did about it's like a video game, a Zelda, unlocking the treasure box, to actually unlock her femininity instead of her just coming with it or just presenting that idea. But I think a lot of times women that say that don't know how to be feminine anyway, for them to come up and say that. But I mean, me personally, not looking for a masculine woman. You're not looking for a woman that has bad manners, that's super loud and aggressive, that overtalks you. That's another one. Doesn't look like a dude. And basically, this is the type of woman, I think, just by talking to you, is just seduction in just in itself. Just the conversation you have with her. And when you talk to certain women, they just give that off, that je ne sais quoi. so to speak. When they're talking, it's just like seduction, just listening to her talk to you or how she acts around you. You know what I'm saying? Makes you want to, do whatever for her. That's the type of woman that you want to be around. You don't mind spending time. Unlike a lot of you guys get in relationships with these women, and you, other than the bedroom, you really don't want to spend any time with her. And that's definitely not the type of woman you want to be in a relationship with. If you can't spend any time, or you dread spending time with her outside of the bedroom, you should be, and that's where the fun part comes in as well. But the feminine, that's a woman's golden ticket, in my opinion. And I've covered that like years ago, and I'll say it over and over and over and over and over. I did a coaching session with a woman years ago, and she may be watching right now. I don't know if she even follows my channel anymore, but she paid men for sex, right? Because she was a truck driver, if I'm not mistaken. She paid men for sex because she'd rather pay the men for sex than to become feminine and, dress herself up and, get the makeup done and all that stuff. And she was so afraid of doing the coaching session, of coming to, me actually telling her what men are looking for, that she was actually going to cancel. So she was like, yo, I'd rather pay men for sex than to get done up and buy the dresses and look feminine. So I proposed a question to her. I was like, yo, I said, do you like feminine men? She said, no. I said, do you like masculine men? She said, yes. I said, do you like men who walk around switching and, uber metrosexual type men, who wear lip gloss and, arch their eyebrows and stuff like that? She was like, no. So I said, why do you expect a man to want a masculine woman? If you're walking around wearing your truck driver get up, wearing some khakis with a flannel shirt, and she was like, I guess a light bulb went off in her head at this point. You know what I'm saying? But it's just certain things that people don't think about, that this is what actually goes on. You know what I mean? Which is crazy in itself. I'm gonna read some of these comments here before we go to the next one. Not a lot of black women in the gym. Usually when I'm in the gym, it's maybe one or two of us. The rest of the ladies are of other races. Exactly. Femininity is a learned behavior from a child. You learn how to be feminine. That goes back to how your mom or grandma teaches you. And I'm considered obese. It's definitely harder to date and find quality men when you're bigger, but not impossible. I think being feminine can trump. Definitely. It's mad. It's big girls with sex appeal. I know I covered that video the other day that Kevin Samuels did on that. But there are big girls with sex appeal, and big girls do pull them. It's just that a preference, not to say that big women don't get married, but it's when you look at what it is that you're looking for at the end of the day, what type of man are you? If you're looking for a big guy, or if you're looking for a low quality guy, not to say low quality, but you get where I'm going with that. That's fine. You know what I mean? But it's a certain type of man is looking for a certain thing. See, we got a private chat here. Looking for married. Service that hooks people up there. Okay. I was reading, somebody sent me a private chat. We about to get to it though. In my gym, it's mixture of ethnicities, mostly white women exercising outside, running, etc. I want to know, why is that? You know what I mean? What you just said in terms of why is it that you see that, in terms of why do you see other ethnicities and races that's taking it more seriously than, our sisters do? And I think what the lady said on the video that I did a commentary of Kevin Samuels the other day, she made it seem like being in shape and being healthy was a white thing, and that size is for white women. And that's just imagine how many other women think like she thinks by saying that. I was with a very feminine man for 4.5 years, from 21 to 26. I was so frustrated and tried to change him. After the break, I realized I had to change. Yeah. Some women marry the dudes just to be married. They'll marry like a super effeminate dude that may be, that suspect. Chick on Myron and Miss Cheeks. I'm not familiar with that. Big girls can be gorgeous, absolutely. And don't let them lose that weight. You see a big girl lose that weight and get slim. Big girls are normally nice. It's when you see a big girl with an attitude, there's some issues. But big girls are mostly nicer, especially a pretty big girl. They're really nice, but if they lose that weight, all that stuff's gonna change. I'd rather be with a woman that I can correct if I have to, meaning a younger woman my age, 25, 18, older woman. No, we can't teach an old dog new tricks. If they only want to lose weight. So, first time call out, bro. Keep it good work. Appreciate it. So we just covered the feminine part. I still see you, Kayla. I'm gonna bring you on here shortly. So the fun part. Who doesn't want a fun woman? Who wants a cold fish? Y'all check out that cold fish video I did, right? It depends on your personality, but I know preferably it just lightens up the mood. I always say that man and woman should be like children when they're together. Husband and wife, your spouse, you guys should be like children when you guys are together. If you got a woman like that one Kevin Samuels video I did about, she was like a robot. She was like, man, that type of stuff makes your penis soft. You know what I'm saying? Yo, you can't be like it. You have to be like a child. Same thing with a dude, man. You have to be like a child when you're with your woman, and the woman should be the same way. She should be able to take a joke. Can't be a cold fish, dull conversation. I like to converse. I like to talk about a variety of topics. So whatever woman I get with has to be on the same level as me, on that same frequency. I mean, you can always teach each other things, but I can't stand dull conversation and somebody that's just like, clueless. You can mentor a younger woman. It's understandable, but I guess that's one of the downfalls. Not to say that a younger woman cannot be inquisitive or an advanced thinker, so to speak. But when you just got somebody that's ditzy, you can't have a conversation with, she's just beautiful. It's a turnoff, and especially a lot of these beautiful women are cold fish in bed as well. You know what I'm saying? But that's where it comes in when you have to teach the person what it is that you like. You know what I mean? Find out what the person likes. All that cold fish, nah, man. That's not gonna last too long. And a lot of people stay in relationships for other things, and it just doesn't work out. You know what I'm saying? So that's my definition of fun. You guys got to have some things in common. You know what I mean? You can't just be like, this is sex is all we got. You can't joke, can't have fun, man. That's the key to longevity. And, you got to be able to crack jokes and things like that, man. The cooperative, that's the big one. That's the other big one we always talk about, being cooperative, right? Speaking before I go into that, say joke around, play fight, play jokes on each other, deep conversations. That when you said that, I don't know why it just hit me. I just thought of a meme just now. It was a meme I saw a while back. It was like, play fighting is cool if you pretty, but if you ugly, I don't have no problem two-piecing your ass on a play fight. You know what I'm saying? That shit cracked me up. I know I'm not a comedian, but I figured I'd just say that. That shit was funny as hell. Anyway, if you ugly, I'll two-piece your ass. Cooperative. That's a woman who's agreeable. Not saying that she's on some coming to America, whatever you say, your highness, all this shit like that, bark like a dog. Nah, not all that. She's not the source of contention. She's not taking everything you say as a personal challenge and is the contrary to what it is that you're trying to do. She's basically not trying to throw a monkey wrench in whatever plan or whatever you got going on, or always trying to correct you. There's a way to go about correcting, even though you are, supposed to be leading, but there's a way to correct someone. You know what I mean? You're not that person that's basically is going to be defiant just to be defiant, because a lot of women have dated simps, married simps, been in relationships with simps, and they've gotten their way with dudes, and dudes have been doing stuff for them for so long, and they're used to talking to dudes who may have been unattractive and are just happy to have this woman in their lives. So some women take advantage of that and just talk to these dudes any kind of way, talk to other people in their life, coworkers, just used to talking to men any kind of way. So when she encounters you, you know, you guys butt heads and you clash, and it's going to be an issue. And her first thing is to basically, like, I don't know who this guy I think he is. You know, I'm used to getting my way. I'm used to having things done a certain way, and it's not going to be going down like that. I'm turning this thing down. I don't know why it's just super bright. I'm used to having things done a certain way, and you know, you need to bow down. And it's not about the woman bowing down to the man at the end of the day. But like I said, some people just like to be contentious, just in general, just to be that way. You know what I'm saying? Some women are nagging. Some women are constantly trying to disrupt something because there's some insecurity going on, and she has to start an argument. You could ever be having a good day with your significant other. And I'm not saying if it's a man that's starting an argument, that's a straight up bitch. You know what I'm saying? Because men shouldn't be starting arguments with women. That's feminine behavior. But you ever a day is just going perfectly fine, then your girl just starts an argument out the blue, just over some stupid shit, or wants to start an argument, because men, you shouldn't be arguing with women anyway. You shouldn't argue with anybody, but definitely not argue with your girl. You know what I'm saying? That's how you have to set the tone right off top with stuff like that. But just nagging about silly stuff that's not even, I wouldn't say it's trivial. I'll go ahead and say it's trivial. You know what I'm saying? It's things that you've already addressed in the past. You know what I mean? Instead of wanting to help out, continuing to try and build and be an asset as part of the team. That's something that you guys don't like to hear. Part of the team. You know, but that's what it's about, man. That's what being cooperative is. It's not just being a pain in the ass, nagging, and just unnecessary BS. Now, the last one, being submissive, right? That's like kryptonite right there when you say that being submissive part. All hell's gonna break loose. A woman, what they want to call it, in her feminine, a woman is not it's not natural for her to lead. And she shouldn't be placed in a position of leadership with a man at all. It's not in her nature to lead the household. So if she does end up in that position, it's going to be hard for her a lot of times to submit if she's never been in that position. That's why you find it hard when people do marry a woman who has been alone before or has been used to running things in her household. She's allowing you to lead naturally as the man instead of degrading or emasculating him. Now, if your man can't lead, so to speak, and you don't want to let him lead, you need to get yourself a new man or get yourself a woman. I'm talking to the women out here that refuse to, and some of you guys are like, how is she gonna allow me to lead? Either if she doesn't, then you're gonna have to go on about your business. And if she wants to, you know, basically make it a point to do that, then if she doesn't trust you to lead, she needs to get another man, or she needs to be with a woman. That's the way I look at it. You know, you should know right off top when you're dating how someone is, and if this is the type of thing that's going to go down, or she used to being dominating, or she's used to dominating the man and telling the man what to do. You know what I'm saying? And you see a lot of households like this. I encounter a lot of households like this, you know, and it's nothing against the woman because it's not her natural place. But you see a lot of households like this, they never really advance. Or in terms of the relationship and things like that, there's a lot of issues a lot of times in the home, and it doesn't really advance to the point where it should be. And with kids seeing that, you know, and I've heard women say this, I've always seen my mother running the household. My mother had all these jobs, and my father was like this, and she basically was running the house, disciplining the kids and everything, and he was just sitting back. So it's just something that just doesn't happen, man, or shouldn't happen. Shout out, shout out. She's not used to stability. Exactly. It's harder for men to lead from both genders raised in single mom homes. Both those men and women lack experience seeing their dad lead the home growing up. All right, let's go ahead and bring on Kayla here. See what we got. Miss Kayla, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm well in you.
Oh, the greatest day of my life. Thanks for asking.
I was just
What's your thoughts? Go ahead.
when you were talking about submission and femininity, I noticed
Hmm.
um because I am young, I'm only 20 years old, but I noticed when
Okay.
like older men, like the one that I'm dating now, he's older than me, he's 40, and he's a 6'9" man, big husky, 300 pounds. And I can
Sheesh.
naturally see myself, naturally just falling into place, right? Because he looks masculine, his everything is masculine, right?
Right.
And so I love when the RP community they talk about, gaining muscles, getting in the gym, and making your woman feel secure. Like when I have a man that is bigger than me and he knows what he needs to do, he's a mechanic. It's just
Right.
it's just easier and it flows.
Put you at ease.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it's security. It just the look of it just looks secure. And so I just kind of was wondering because I don't even really think he's like it's just when you're in your day like the first part and you're just kind of texting, so I don't really think he's my man, but I want to think he my man.
What do you mean by that?
We're in a texting stage where we've seen each other a few times, but I don't know what's going on. I just don't know.
How long have you guys been communicating?
For about 3 weeks now.
3 weeks.
Hmm.
And just texting, you guys went on a few dates, you said?
Yeah, 4 dates.
Oh, 4 dates, and you said 3 weeks? I'm sorry.
Yeah, three
Four
weeks.
dates in 3 weeks. So is he what you're looking so far? I know you sound like, you know, you get the security point from him, but what is it that, because it sounds like you got some apprehension going
Um,
on.
he believes in the Most High. He's an honorable guy. Character is there. I just really don't know. Like, I think it's more of our age difference, and I think it's I'm his first like young lady. You
Right.
know, and so we talked about we've been talking about a lot of different things, and I really feel like there's a connection there spiritually, mentally, and even physically. Attraction is there.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just wondering, like, where are the people that saying that they want to get married, they want to be, I don't know. It's just I don't know.
You asked that. What do you mean by that though? When you said where are these people at? Like, what do you mean by that?
Because I think I hear this a lot. Like they're ready to get married, they're ready to do these different things. But like maybe I'm confused on when you're going to get married to someone. Like how do you know that this is the one?
So I know obviously you're young. He's 40 years old, right?
Hmm.
You're 20, so he's twice your age at this point. I
Hmm.
know you guys are too early to be talking about marriage at 3 weeks, but I guess for me understanding your question, at what point do you know that that's the one? And if it's um getting to getting to that point,
Right.
let me ask you this. Can you see yourself? And I'm just asking you this. I know it's early, but I have a firm belief that when a woman gives a man her number, when she seriously gives a man her number, not just on some BS, here's my number or whatever, or I'm gonna give you a fake number or whatever. If she seriously gives a man her number, she has intention, or she can see herself. Because the biggest thing with a woman is what she looks for in a man is security. Unlike when, as men, we look at a woman, her beauty, and not. I'm just saying from a standpoint of a man, her beauty and us being with her sexually at first until we get to know her and other things, and then we decide to make her our wife, because that's the only thing, really at the end of the day, we are in control of that, and he is in control of proposing to you at the end of the day. So if you're asking me, when does that happen? Do you see yourself being with this guy based off of these past 3 weeks, what you know of him? Because it's still early on. Does this seem like the type, based off of his job? What does he do for a living? Does he have kids? Is he stable? I know you said the mechanic and everything else, but how about the rest of his lifestyle?
I do
Is
see
it
myself
stable?
with this person. But maybe that's just my girly nature where, we start planning a marriage.
You
We
started
start
what?
getting I said I think that's just my girly nature where, when I like somebody, I want to start marry. I'm thinking about marry them. I'm thinking about how our kids gonna come out. I'm thinking about life insurance plans.
Right, right,
So,
right.
I do tell myself you just need to calm down because you are young, but I do really like the man, and I like what you were talking about, how, as a feminine woman, just submitting. And I notice I can easily fall into my place when I see a man like this.
Well, I'm along the lines of, if you were my daughter, which I'm technically old enough to be your dad. Yeah. If you were my daughter, I would, I would see where it goes. I wouldn't spend, like, if you don't see anything going, after a few months, of dating this guy, and the more you find out, because you initially meet somebody's representative,
Right,
like this time period. Normally 3 months is when you normally start. That 3 to 6 month period is when you really start meeting who this person is at the end of the day. So I would say that at that 3 to 6 months, you don't want to spend too much time. And I'm glad Kevin touched on that. You don't want to spend too much time with this person, especially someone you have your youth on your side. He's already established, so he should already know what he wants,
right.
especially if what you want is marriage. So after a certain point, you definitely need to make that clear, you know, um, if that's your intention other than dating, because that's where the dating with intention comes along. Obviously, when that conversation comes about, whether it be the next few weeks, hey, where do you see yourself, or whatever, what are your intentions? These are my intentions, so on and so forth, and see what he has to say about that. And that's where you need to make the decision before you get that attachment. Because once you get that attachment, it's going to be like pulling a briar from a piece of wool. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It's going to be hard to detach, and that's what you don't want. You know what I mean? So you definitely need to find out what his intentions are for
Well,
you.
and
And go ahead.
the reason why I'm attracted to this person is because I want to have kids young. I want to be able
Hmm.
to run and jump and play with my children. You
Hmm.
know, as a young woman, I don't want to wait until I'm like 30 years old. Kevin Samuels want to talk about hitting the wall, but I don't want to wait
It's geriatric
until
pregnancy too. It's high risk pregnancy the older you get as well. So
right. And so I
yeah,
had this conversation with my mother's like, I don't want to wait till then. I want to marry. Like, she wasn't married when she had us, but I
right.
want to be married when I have my kids. You know what I mean?
As you
So
as you should be. As you should be. Go ahead.
that's why my mindset is kind of like this. And so when people hear me, they're like, well, you're too young to even be thinking about it. But I'm thinking about my children. I'm not worried about, me, because
Yeah.
me is me. I already lived.
Right. Well, you haven't already lived, but if that's your intentions, you need to make that known sooner than later, that these are my intentions. What are your intentions? Um, I'm not into just having kids shacking up or whatever, without a ring. So if this isn't anything serious, then we're gonna have to move on. It's been fun, because the longer you stay in a relationship, the harder it's gonna be to detach. And excuse me, the harder and the longer is going to be to detaching. When you move on to that next person, you're still going to have an attachment to this other person. You know what I'm saying? And it's not always good to just jump right back into dating, because you got to reset and go through all this stuff as well. So definitely, I would say to you, sooner than later, to find out. I know it's 3 weeks, but definitely find out what those intentions are, and that's how you know from there for sure. You know.
Thank you so
And
much. I appreciate your channel.
oh, no worries. I appreciate you tuning in. I'm glad we had a younger lady on here to kind of, and you kind of describe what it was that you were looking for, which is good at 20 years old to know you're looking for that security. Because a lot of women, they'll say this, that, and they'll choose a guy, but deep down, it's not really the security that they're looking for, but is what they should be looking for. And a woman who has her head on her shoulders, that's what she really is when she's choosing a guy. She's looking for security with this guy. And
And
is he good for me at the end of the day? Go ahead.
right. And so I seen a comment that was saying, "What's her education?" Um, Before Kevin Samuels had even came out, I had got the revelation that I would be going to school because I was going to school for nursing, and I finished like half of my thing, and I realized if I'm gonna have kids, why would I spend so much money? Because recertification and all these different things, I want to be there for my children. You
Mm-hmm.
know, why would I spend all this money to possibly waste it? Because I want to have children. I want to be motherly. I want to nurture. I want to do all those things. And so, no, I don't really have an education right now because that's not a focus. My focus is family, morality, things like that.
Well, I'll tell you, like I was telling on this, because like I was saying earlier on this video, I did a live with a young lady earlier on IG, and I covered this on a video a while back. What I would tell my daughter or any young lady that is looking to get married or looking for the right. And I'm going to link those videos at the end of this video for the restreams for people to check it out. What to look for in a husband. But and I think more that this is why fathers are important, and more men need to be involved, or some type of guardian needs to be involved when with this. But ultimately, it's a woman that's going to make a decision. I think this man, if especially if you're looking to have kids, you guys, if he proposes to you or whatever, you make everything clear. This man should be able to take care of you. I mean, he should financially be able to take care of you and whatever children. He should have his own place, preferably his own house, you know, just in case anything happens, whether he passes away. I mean, it's questionable whether it's paid off or not. But like you said, you guys need to have life insurance policies just in case anything does happen. That way the place can be paid off in the case of that. But definitely be able to take care of both you and the family and have his own place before he even decides to marry anyone, especially at that age, 40. Even at a young age, most young guys don't really have that already together. That's why they shouldn't be getting married, unless you come from a wealthy family. But really, if a man, as far as my daughters go, if he doesn't have that, it's not going to have my blessing. I mean, she's going to do what she's going to do at the end of the day. I understand it. But if a man's not able to do that, nah, I don't see it. I don't see it happening. How they say, I don't see it with a telescope. For my daughter to go into a marriage struggling, nah. So that's my thoughts on it. I see you
Thank
muted.
you.
All right. Well, best of luck to you. She got off there real quick. Yeah. I'm gonna read some of these comments. I know we was missing out on that. It's a good example. So that's a young lady that, definitely she knows what she wants as of right now. Obviously she's still young. She knows what she wants to have a family. Some people like that. They want to have a family early on. But you have some women or some young ladies that are just so anxious to have children, they don't care whether they get married or not, and they'll just use that guy for his seed. Well, knowing well that nobody's using any protection, any prophylactic, any birth control, and will bring a child, into the world. There's no preparation. Nothing's in place really. There's not even $500 in the bank account. There's not enough money to buy diapers, formula, or anything like that. And you're struggling. And you end up outsourcing childcare to a third party. You know what I'm saying? Which is not how it should be. Not at all. So we should avoid things like that. And, the young lady I was talking to earlier, she was talking about, I own businesses. I do this. I do that, I do this, and I do that. You can't do all of those things and hold it down, especially if there's 2 working people in the household. It's going to be super difficult. And this is where the divorces come in, because both of y'all are working. Some of you working on different shifts. You're going and passing. You passing the kids off. You're rarely getting to see each other. You come home, you're trying to, relax, and you spend maybe 1 or 2 hours with your significant other and your children, and then you back to the rat race. It's not a way to live. You know what I mean? That's why you should have your shit together before you even get married, where you're able to take care of the family. Yep, she's good. 18 to 25, by 26, good life stage kicks in. Made that clear from the get-go. Man, knew from the get-go. This 40-year-old dude, her first relationship. Yeah, I should have asked her that. She needs more experience before she'll feel trapped. I agree. I want a trophy wife. So you one of those. We was discussing that earlier. A lot of guys do want trophy wives. They don't care about all that other stuff. They just want eye candy. And even if she can't cook or anything like that, and then when she gets up in age and all that stuff starts, deteriorating, then if it does, you may, pick up another one or cheat on her because she doesn't bring anything to that proverbial table, quote unquote, other than her looks, and that was finite. You want him to be able to run to. He's too old. You want him to be able to run to. Yep. Yeah, that is. He'll be having kids up in that age. Yeah, she had a smoke detector going on. Big Braun with mustache. Damn. You guys are brutal, man. 3 to 6 months should give her more stability. Exactly. You have a clear head. It's just 3 weeks in. I was talking about this earlier as well. In case women go to college for a husband, a degree is a bonus. And that's how they're trained too. Many women 18 through 30 ready for marriage. Yeah, these days for sure. Shout out to Dr. Thunder. Y'all go check him out. I'll be on his podcast here in a few months. America doesn't produce wife material. Good luck with the trophy. Can't cook and clean, exactly. Personally don't agree that men should wait 35 plus to get married. A man can get married younger than 35, but he has to be hard earning, not rich yet. As Kevin says, I don't say 35 either. I think that what I said to her is how I feel. Like if a guy was interested in marrying my daughter, as long as he's able to, fulfill those things, and I get a feel for him, he's not no abusive guy. He's got his head on his shoulders. He's able to provide for her and the potential family they have. He's got his own place. Yeah, then he's good. America has gone up the cost of living since COVID. If you get married young, you will struggle hard, for real. Yeah, man. So we heard what she was saying. So that security as a young, I don't know what her household background. I should have asked her those questions as well, because that plays a part, as far as her coming across this older gentleman, 40 years old, has his head on his shoulders, seems to be, he's stable. He provides that stability. That's very attractive. Stability is attractive. Even if you are an unattractive man, so to speak, women do find that attractive. They also find attractive if you got those options. But for the fellas, I know we had some comments on there. If any of y'all fellas want to get on, let me know. I had some fellas commenting on what they're looking for in a spouse or wife in particular, which is perfectly understandable. Some of these things, a lot of these guys is like, it's not going to benefit me to get married at all. which is understandable. But there are some men out there that still do want to get married, still want to have children, you know, and obviously that is the recommended way if you want to have children, unless you're just this big baller and you got tons of money and you want to pull a Nick Cannon and just, you know, spread your seed all over the place. You know what I'm saying? I would recommend that you go ahead and get married if you're going to have kids. You know what I'm saying? So that way you do have more rights. What little rights you do have in terms of this country if you're going to have children. And plus, it's good for the family dynamic anyway. You know what I mean? You don't want to, you know, bring a child in this world with just some random woman and there's no family dynamic set in place as far as the mother and the father, the traditional family dynamic, if you will. I'm just pulling up while you guys are commenting here. I'm pulling up some of these things that the guys were saying here. On here. I don't want to have too much dead air. Your channel. So, got some guys saying, I had my teenage sons and daughters provide me with a list of the top 10 things they wanted in a husband or wife. I reviewed them with each individually and reminded them that they would not find all 10 in one person, which is understandable. Also, they need to figure out the traits that, if missing, were deal breakers. I also asked them what type of person they needed to be to deserve that person. It's a great way to start productive relationship discussion with kids. That's what he's saying. So another gentleman said, understanding and acceptance of your place, attractive and healthy body, wanting the same basic things I want in life, which is some of the things I covered as well. Another gentleman said submission, healthy, loyalty. This guy said, not looking for one. The apocalypse is nigh. Sheesh. Then we had one of those, I don't want to say the acronym, but y'all know the acronym. He said he goes that way. None of them meet my criteria. I will only date women 5'8" and up. They must make 100,000 or more a year. Athletic body is a must. No fat women. I won't lower my standards. Women need to be on my level. Now, with that being said, how stupid does this sound? This is my point. Women have these expectations. How many can meet my criteria and standards? 0.00001% of the population. I hope women read this so they can understand how dumb they sound. And it just goes to show their criteria is idiotic. So that sounds about right from a guy from that community. Yo, also these men wanting young, healthy, and fit women can't be super fat smokers, heavy drinkers, etc. Need to be mindful because your lifestyle will eventually rub off on her. I mean, yeah, but I guess if these men have resources, they feel like they can command, you know, they don't have to, you know, be a certain way because money talks. You know what I mean? What about a widower old man like myself? Not a chance. Don't hold your breath. Marriage is just a modern day slavery. Might as well commit a crime and serve a jail sentence. Man, that's brutal, man. Sheesh. So, must be healthy and fit like me. Damn sure got to be feminine, knowing most women are masculine, especially in 2021. Got to know the meaning of the word accountability. Have to be my age, 25. I guess he's saying 19 to 25. He said 25 to 19. Because I already know older women won't care about what a man like me who has standards expect from them. And out of all, must have or had her actual father in her life, no stepdad. Man, you guys are like specific with it. Damn. Someone that actually sees me and other women as human. Okay, this is a lady talking right here. Someone that actually sees me and other women as humans rather than a means to an end, i.e., some stupid legacy. A best friend, funny, trustworthy, etc. Submission, cooperation, financial security, emotional security. Not bad, not bad. In today's time, you're a man thinking about marriage, you should probably think twice about that. You should think more than twice. And the homie said light skin. Wow. He's that's his only requirements for a woman is he wants a light skinned woman. Very interesting, man. So I don't know, man. What do you got? I've been hearing a lot of stuff. I mean, it seems like there's been more obviously guys in the chat this evening basically saying not really what they prefer. They just saying altogether that they don't, it's just not the way to go, and I think that there's benefits to having a woman by your side, man. Just like they say, you don't want, we talk about women dying alone, but men, you don't want to die alone either. You know what I'm saying? Whether you got, you can say I got my kids or I got my dog, or men, you can say, well, I'm a man, I can die alone. I mean, bring this down. That's perfectly understandable, if you want to die alone. But do you really want to die alone at the end of the day? I'm 43, single, no kids, loving it. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? Career bachelors, if you're used to it, I'm not saying it's insecurity, but I think the older you get, you can date, you got companionship and things like that. You can be one of these sugar daddies with these young ladies, but you got to ask yourself, I guess, especially if you're a younger man, what is it? Where do you see yourself as you get older? Where do you want to be at? Same thing for the ladies who's tuned in and watching. Being single gets old as well. I can agree with that. I think being single is cool. When you say single, I guess you just mean, because technically single is anything not married for the most part. But if you're single and you're dating, or you dealing with, as a man, you're dealing with multiple women, I guess it would get old unless you just got a main chick, you know. But being on your purpose or whatever at a certain point, man, nah. 51 and been through the ringer, so I died today. So if I died today, I can say I died peacefully. I hear you, man. A lot of dudes, man, I think a lot of dudes on these channels, man, they've gone through the ringer, and it takes a lot of us to learn the hard way by going through these divorces, these traumatic divorces and things like that, where we lose it all and you basically about to commit a homicide and every other odd there is out there, man, because of something you thought it really wasn't, man, because that was what your life was attached to. This is your livelihood. Everything was your livelihood. Especially, I can't see you guys who basically was with a woman and she filed for divorce and you were forced to get out of your house and still pay the bills. And she's dealing with another man in your house with the kids still there as well. And all your money is going towards, her upkeep of the place. And you just getting screwed, man. I don't know. I'm glad I never had to deal with that to that point, man. But for you guys who had to, man, sheesh. Bro, like that will force you to do something, man. But that's how this stuff is rigged. So in that case, yeah, I would never want to get married again. But dudes do it 2-3 times, man. Sheesh. I stalled my ex out. She left. I wasn't leaving my house. Yeah, man. So I get it. I get it. But that's why I just wanted to do this show tonight, just to kind of get your idea of what you guys are looking for. And I think, a lot of times the fellas, we're kind of like, we're all for the most part in agreement, other than the aesthetic part of a woman. We're all pretty much looking for the same thing. And this is it better? Is it getting to the point where younger men are better off using their passports? one thing I gotta say, man, there's a lot of videos dudes are, and I think I covered this in my last video, where men are making comments about other men who are traveling abroad, and what they do with their money and how they use their genitals, their genitalia. It's startling to me why people are so concerned about that. You know what I mean? Or have comments about that. Stop telling young black men to date or seek marriage outside their race. Did somebody say that? Did I say that? I don't know. Maybe I forgot. Maybe you guys can correct me if I said that. Stop telling young black men to date or seek marriage outside their race. Why can't black men date outside their race or seek marriage outside their race? Interested in knowing. Why is that? My man said, I'm older and I want to use my passport. Use your passport, man. Better women on the other side of the world. Life is too short to be waiting on black women to act right. Damn. Phew. She ain't making no sense. Go for who goes for you. So I wonder if she's basically saying, I'm waiting for her to respond. Unless she's just thinking of something. Unless you want to come on and explain your point. But, if you're bold enough to say that, you might as well go ahead and hit that link and then expound on that. He's supposed to, that's you on that Dr. Umar stuff where I guess that's your thought, is to basically stay within your race, even if this man, let's say this man is having it or finding it difficult in his estimation. Now I'm just saying this, in his estimation, he's finding a hard time finding a quality woman that fits, so for the sake of, which I can kind of get why you trying to say that, but if you're finding such a hard time, or you say like if you finding that you're not having luck with a particular race, so to speak, let's just not say black, but if you're not having luck with this particular race, or you feel like that particular race is difficult to deal with, but you feel like another race is more cooperative, finds you more attractive maybe, and basically is into you more, do you still think that you should keep going, maybe spend many years, of your life trying to convince someone to be with you, or a particular race to be with you, and they're not really into you like that? Just a question. If you said that, don't just leave. You catch back up on these comments. I know I missed a few. Going on my little rant here. Marriage can be done when you're younger or older because they're ready to serve their partner. Plenty of black women outside of America. Foreign black women have old school values. This is true. Selective hearing. I don't think you ever said that. Word, checkmate. Like that scene in Dead Presidents when she talked disrespectful to Lorenz Tate character. I don't know if you're talking about his baby mama, but he was broke in Dead Presidents. So I don't know if that wasn't really a good good example. They can, but it's pushed extra heavy in the black community. Women are not better just because they are born in another country. I'd be happy with a spouse that could cook. All I had was more bills dressed as a spouse. You never said that. Relationships and marriage is technically a transaction of prostitution. Damn, I'm confused though. As a black dude from the Caribbean, are all black women like this or something? I don't know. Ask your boy, Fresh Prince CEO. Well, American black women, so speak. You didn't. Y'all told us we're expendable. Y'all didn't need us for 50 years. Welcome to the U.S. where the peasants think we are kings and queens. All right, Meek. What you got for me, man? You there? He must have stepped away. Anyway, I don't know if he's not muted or anything like that. How about telling black women to be more LTR, long-term relationship material, rather than getting on black men, not telling other black men not to date outside their race? Y'all told us we were expendable and you didn't need us for 50 years. Okay, I guess he's about to come on here on the chat. It's Didi. I know someone who married a woman from Germany. She ain't looking for a man with more money. Germany is a Western country. Honestly, the women abroad are way more loyal and aren't as money hungry than American women. All women do like financial security, but I'm in the top 8% of black men earners. Go ahead now.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, hey, take me off the thing in the background, man. Hit pause it, pause that because it's echoing in the back.
Gotcha. Can you hear me now?
All right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What you got for me this evening, man? How are you?
Hey, man, I'm good. Just hanging out, man.
All right.
First, I want to say I like your show. I'm trying to start my own YouTube too, but me it's gonna be mostly about the music. I don't do all like the talking and stuff, but my comment is mostly I will probably say it's the society, the way we live in America. If you look at it, it's more like a capitalist society, so everything is driven like a business. I think that's what is killing most of the relationship nowadays, because they're looking at it at the relationship as like a business, mostly in America.
Okay.
I'm not sure if you guys think the same thing, but that's what I'm seeing. Why a lot of our relationship is failing, because the society is messed up. Also, the way we live in America.
Where are you calling from?
I'm calling America, but I was from I was originally I was born from Africa,
No, I mean like where in America? Where in America are you calling from?
Virginia.
Oh, you in VA? Okay.
Yeah.
So what you looking for in a spouse, man? Or if you were to look for a spouse or a wife, what are you looking for? I know you got an African background, you know. And I know it's a large African population in the DMV and Virginia area. You know what I'm saying? So what are you looking for in a wife or a spouse?
Uh, for me, I would say first it's gotta be we gotta connect spiritually, like you gotta my religion. We gotta be in the same. That's the first thing that I'm looking for. The second one I will probably I'm big on respect. So as an Africans, most of it, like I can't even argue with my parents. So respect
Right.
for me is more like that's like the biggest thing a girl can give me, and it also tells it also shows like a character, like a person character.
Right.
So that's the first two things that I look for in a woman or a wife.
Mm.
That's pretty much it that I look for as far
So
as
you don't care how she look?
is that girl mature. Looks is not really. I mean, when I was young, I would say yeah, but looks is not really my focus more. I mean, she don't have to be like ugly, but she can. I mean, if she's like I would say like Kevin Samuel says, if she's like a 5, I take that. I don't mind taking a 5.
How old are
But
you?
I'm 34.
Okay, go ahead. Continue.
Yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind a 5. I don't need like a pretty model chick looking like especially nowadays, the Barbies look alike. I don't mess with them. If you look
Right,
like a
right.
Barbie, I'm not messing with you.
Mm.
Um, and yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it, man.
So you more on the traditional values, and I got you. You know, the respect and
Yeah,
all that. Yeah, I got you
yeah.
for
So,
sure. And
and
you
I
never
think
been married?
no, I never been married,
Never been
single,
married.
no
Got you.
kids. So yeah,
I got
I
you,
think
man.
my parents helped me out with that as well. Since I have my both parents,
Right.
they have that
Nah.
old values. So I was raised more like a I was raised in both society, but the African society when I was young, when I was back there, it kind of imprint in me. That kind of stays with me. So I think that's one of the
What part of
beneficial.
Africa?
You know, Congo. It used to be Zaire. It's like a
Yeah.
central.
Yeah. I got some Congo blood in me. Yeah. I'm familiar with Congo, man.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's
Yeah.
up.
Southwest. Yes. Yeah. Southwest Central. Yeah. I'm
Right.
familiar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's where I'm
So
from, man. So
understand it, man. Yeah. So that's you. I mean, you straight. You ain't got all the other stuff like people be saying. You like I take a 5 as long as she respect me, hold down the house. I mean, you know,
yeah,
you're a simple man. You know, I can definitely understand that, but that's the biggest one for sure. That respect.
right,
You know what I'm saying? And you can definitely see the difference from me talking with you know, some African brothers. You know, it's completely different. You know, and I know
right.
that the westernization, you know, coming is invading the continent, and I know that's causing some trouble as well, man. So yeah,
Right. I think so. We need some structures, man. I think being I understand the women getting the freedom and everything, but I think sometimes when you put too much freedom, you give somebody too much freedom, it will always be a downfall somewhere.
always, that's everywhere. That's
Right.
everywhere. Yeah, with freedom, it comes with somebody who's always going to take advantage, or there's always going to be some extremes. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
So
Definitely.
yeah,
Yeah.
bro. But you know, I appreciate your input, man. You know, and keeping it real simple with that. You know, that's sometimes that's all we need. You know, that the biggest thing, and
Respect.
we don't care about the looks. All that stuff is gonna fade anyway. You know, as long as they solid. But I understand, man. I appreciate you tuning in.
All right, man. Peace.
All right, later. That brother said that he'll take a 2 as long as she loyal and respects him. He'll take a 2. That's how y'all need to be. You know what I'm saying? Love the one that love you, even if she is a adjustable one. You feel me? Y'all stupid, man. She ain't gotta be Miss Black America. If she got a nice rack, good waistline, and a decent face, I'm happy. I agree with the call 100%. Let's see what the OG talking about here, man.
What's
What's up,
going on,
OG?
man?
What's happening with you,
You
man?
got
Lay it on me.
chilling.
What these brothers need to be looking for out here in the South?
You got to look for a woman that's gonna hold down the fort in your household, make the bed up every day, clean, organized. Got your back on everything. You know what I'm saying? And those things you shouldn't have to say to a woman. She should already know it.
Right.
Half these young women keep a nasty house. You know what I'm saying? They unorganized because half of them smoke weed and drink.
Yeah.
Dude, y'all if you dealing with an American woman, you in a no-win situation. I'm telling you, you'll be a damn fool to fool with these women and marry them like that. They don't have it. They don't have it. And I'm in the Dominican Republic right now,
Right.
right? And I kept denying this place because I kept seeing the women. I'm like, they look like American women. They kind of raunchy, ghetto-like, feisty. But I met a chick in a small town here in Cabrera.
Mm-hmm.
Totally different. Totally different. Totally different than the main spots that they want you to go to, Sosua, Puerto Plata,
Right.
Santiago, Santa.
Damn, brother, I guess you booted yourself off. You'll come back though. While we waiting for him to come on back, let's see what I think we got a return call of Mr. KP.
What's up? What's up?
What's up with you, man? While we waiting for him to come on back. Hey, take that thing off the background.
Yeah, just cut it off.
All right, you got a hot phone tonight? What's happening?
No, I'm on my laptop.
Okay. What you got to add, man? What you looking for? You know, other than a virgin, what you looking for?
The funny thing earlier when you were saying about the trophy wife, and when I analyzed it after I had that conversation with you,
right?
And I got like folks at my job, when people I trust to talk to them about that, they said, "Why would you be involved with a female like that was a virgin?" I said, "Because she seemed of decency and stuff like that." So they analyzed and said, "Well, it was the fact that she was never touched. Why you really pursued her, or desired to be with her, even though you weren't able to do the things you were normally doing with other females in your past?" I said,
"Right,
yeah, probably." So they said, I pretty much valued her status as a virgin or a woman who has not been around, so to speak, more than actually her. And the trophy wife term came up. So I think a lot of men, when they want to get married, they value a virtuous woman, which I was doing, and exclusivity. It's something egotistically inside of a man. I use this analogy. You go through a mall. If every guy that she ever been with was in that mall, the guy's less likely to want to hold hands with him. I know it's messed up. A lot of women might be listening and hearing this, but you got to think from a man's perspective. We're egotistical. We like the idea of we were either the first or we were the best. A lot of women will say, what does that matter? It's just something in us, like the Michael Jordan thing about being a competitor. We just like the idea either we're the first to plant the flag, or if we weren't the first to plant the flag, we were the best ones at all. And that's just something innately inside of us. Women have the same thing when it comes to, they like to be known to be the best girlfriend or wife, whatever, cooking, cleaning. Never compare a woman to another woman. I made a mistake in relationships I had way back, comparing them how, you my top three. Got the silent treatment for 2 weeks. I told, hey, I said you were my top three. Get some advice. You never compare a woman to another woman. I said she was my top three, not my bottom three.
Right.
Comparing them. But when it comes to marriage, what we're looking for mainly, a good man, and I'm not trying to put myself on a pedestal, a good man's looking for a woman that he can trust. If you're a truck driver, you go out of town for 2 weeks, you don't got to worry about somebody coming through your side door at 1 o'clock in the morning. If you're in the military, in the Navy, you're doing a 9-month employment. And I work around the same area that guy just called in Virginia.
All right.
Come back home, your girl's 5 months pregnant, but you left out like 7 months early or 2 months, 8 months early. What's going on? I mean, things like that make it where guys look at women with a side eye. And then there was a phrase somebody told me kind of deep. You're gonna be seen as either a toy, a tool, or a gift. Now, if you're a toy, that means nobody takes you serious. They just want to play around, have their enjoyment. If you're a tool, that means they see you as some way of a come up. They really don't care about you. They really don't love you. They see you as a method of getting to their next, by any means type situation. And when they get there, they dump you, live you. Ideally, you want to be seen as a gift, because when you're seen as that, the person do anything because they see you as a benefit to their life as they are to yours, and therefore your relationship is gonna be pure, authentic. Authentic. I can't say the word right now.
You got it. You got it.
Yeah, but point being is, you just have to be, everyone wants to find the perfect person. I don't want to have nobody with kids. Look, after you get past 30 years old, if the person don't have no kids, you got to start asking, what's going on with you? All right. I mean, keeping it 100. You ain't out there in the game. I get that. But if you're a female and you stay at home with your moms, and which no problem, I believe in women staying at home long, because a lot of women that have all these issues are the ones that live single, their own apartment, their own house, and they don't make the right decision. They mess with the Pookies and the Ray Rays, so to speak.
Right.
Out of themselves having the kids with some dude they didn't want to have a baby with. Now they stuck. Now a dude egotistically wise, oh, she's got a kid. I don't really want to be the janitor for that.
Right.
You know, unless the kid's gonna grow up to be Shaquille O'Neal or LeBron James, then I don't mind being a stepdaddy. But most times they're not. You don't want to hear that phrase every kid says to that stepdad or even boyfriend, "You ain't my daddy," and you'll say back, "You know what? You're damn right. I ain't your damn daddy. Deuces." You know, I'm keeping it one. I'm keeping Hondo, keeping it 100.
Yeah.
A lot of women don't realize when you date a dude and you got kids, especially under the age of 10 or 11, you tell that youngin, you respect this man if you have genuine feelings for him. But that moment when that child shows no respect for you, you say, okay, that's a reflection on her. Because she didn't obviously tell him, I like Mr. So-and-so. I want to make this work. But when the kid's not being respectful because they don't want you to work out, that's when I'd rather date a woman without kids.
Right.
You know, but marriage still has a chance. But I said like this, over the last 50 years, when you go back, I'm 39, I'm not like 60 years old, but it's reduced every decade. I got no problem with women getting degrees and stuff, but like I said up there early on the chat, most Caucasian women, and I heard it's for Caucasian people, go to college with the idea of finding a husband. Women.
I said that several times, and that's the difference. That's the main fundamental difference between our race and the white race, and how we rear our children, and to as far as college goes, it's cool. And I've said this before on a few videos I've done about education and college and things like that. That's just how it is, for networking and stuff, instead of that title to be wheeled around that I'm educated and competing and things like that, and putting everything else on the back burner.
Exactly. But, like I'm saying this in closing, I'm gonna hold you up, but
yeah, in closing, I need you to tell me what you're looking for in a woman. But go ahead. Other than a virgin, that virgin, I know that virgin stuff is out the window. But go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna put a pause on that. Be bluntly honest. I'm looking for somebody who benefit me as much as I benefit them. I'm not gonna be coming with a whole lot of bags. I mean, garbage and a whole bunch of side drama. If their life stats, like looking at a baseball card, is decent, and I look at it, okay, and look at mine and give it to them, okay, we can work out. But marriage, looking for the right person, is just them. In 2 months, you can know whether or not a person's is a good mate to get married to. You can find out. So if she's decent and got a good heart, you can look at her, be honest. Don't let me find out a year or two later, when I'm holding hands with you want, keeping the Hondo is just, I had my past, I let you know. You've had your past, you let me know. It's like going to the priest.
So you one of them detectives too.
It's like you don't want to buy a used car paying new car price, so to speak. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all be killing me with this detective work, man.
No. If because women, I got women that ask me this, oh, you got girls you talking to. I said, what does that matter? I'm not dealing with you. Because that's inquisitive. They want to know if you are exclusively going to be available to them, right? A man's going to be the same way. He's going to wonder in the back of my mind. She tells me, yeah, she only had a low body count, which that's her business. I get that.
That's
but if I ever ask, hey, when I'll be honest with my body count, I wasn't no damn choir boy. I was far from the damn priest. But don't be fraudulent because you're worrying about my perception. That's the number one thing that I was always told. The greatest asset a woman wants to keep with a man is perception. They value that so much. It comes from a daddy thing when they're younger, when they're teenage girls. They don't tell their daddy, yeah, I'm still a virgin, so to speak. When they're going out after the football game, letting so-and-so get it. College, same way. Then when they find a man they want to get married, they care about their perception. It's very important because they don't want to get the B and C treatment. They want to get the A treatment. When they realize you look at them a certain way, they realize you're probably not going to give them the treatment that they desire. So,
right.
But being honest, that's the number one thing. Being honest, that's a virtue. If you cannot be honest, then,
How would you know? Hey, what you got going on over there?
My youngin.
Yo, here's the thing. And I said this on the video I did. How are you going to know if she's honest or not? Unless you had previous knowledge, like firsthand knowledge of who she's been with, right? Second of all, why would you want to know? Like I get it. Like you gave the mall analogy. I get it.
Yeah.
Right. She could have slept with everybody in the mall.
And looked like she was the Virgin Mary.
But why would you want to know that though? Like why? Like ignorance is bliss. There's a song Mario Winans did called "I Don't Want to Know." You remember that song?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm young. I'm old enough to know. Yeah.
So my thing is like, why trouble yourself if you're having a good time with this woman?
Mm-hmm.
You're enjoying this woman, and I know
Yeah.
a lot of y'all probably watching this video and are going to watch this video. Man, JR, you a motherfucking simp, man. I want to know how many dicks she rode. I need to know how many dudes doggy styled her, how many threesomes she had. Bro, you don't. That's detective work. That's an immediate turn off for a woman, and no woman's gonna be honest with you. You saying all this stuff. If you're really good with women, and you have been, talking to women and in relationships and situationships, and you deal with women, no woman's really gonna sit there and tolerate that anyway, unless she really needs you for something.
Well, no, the reason why I bring it up is like you were saying, no way. How would you date a chick that was a virgin and all that stuff? I heard that for like 3 years, 4 years from people I was trustworthy to confide that in, right? They said, you really think she's using that as a tool to try to get you to look at her in a certain way and to give her the A treatment, right? So I've had women tell me straight up and down, like they've had a body count, and I'm like, okay, it's cool. I don't look at them no different. I'm like, you being honest, because I know, college, that's when you go through your certain phase, men and women go through that certain phase. I went to my college for 2 years and you go through a certain phase. Female, something. I always say, like I said, you got the good time stage, and then you hit a certain age, you're like, okay, I want to get married, I want to have a family. Then you hit the good life stage. And your good time stage, that's when you had all your wild, freaky, crazy sex. Wow. No matter you had a body count of 50. If you're saying, yeah, I've done it, okay. All right. As long as you don't got you've got an STD, be honest about it. But
I put it like this. I asked my wife, because I was a kid, I didn't know any better. So
yeah.
I got married, and I said this before, I got married when I was 18.
Mm.
I asked her, because I didn't know any better, obviously.
Mm.
I asked her, and I don't know if she was telling the truth or not, but she told me and I told her. But since then, I've never asked a woman that question. Exactly. I've never asked a woman that question, because it doesn't, like, I don't want to even think about that, and I don't want to go over it in my mind. And at the end of the day, it's none of my fucking business. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm that guy at the end of the day. You're not going to do, I don't care who it is, you're not going to do better than me. I don't care who comes after me, you're not going to do better than me. You're not going to get this. You're not going to get this experience. You're not going to get this experience. It's not going to happen. It's not happening.
And that goes back to what I said about the first and the best.
I only come around every millennium. It's nobody else is going to come around. I'm only going to come around once every millennium. It's not, you're not going to encounter anybody like me. So it's a blessing. So all that other shit, I mean, whatever she did, I'm not about to, because that shit's going to replay in your mind. Okay, this dude did this. This dude did this. This dude had her like this. This dude had her like this. Like, bruh, like, if she wasn't a virgin, that's just me, man. But I feel you though, man.
Yeah.
But I got you. Go ahead.
The ideal woman it's not about her body count. The ideal woman is just her being an honest, honorable person, to which you can say, if you were not around, what they say, character is what you do when nobody's watching. That's the main thing for most men. A lot of guys out here, and they talk about this RP, red pill, and everything else. It's mainly because, like I said, about the toy, the tool, and the gift. Most guys either saw themselves getting played like a toy, or some got used like a tool. And by that, their money. And the whole new F-boy thing. I ain't gonna lie, me being used as an F-boy, when a chick told me, you're not serious, I'm just using you just to have fun with you. And after that, you can carry your ass and forget to lock the door. I'm like, damn, you feel used even in that situation. You're a toy. So you rather be seen as a gift, to which the person's like looking at you as something special, and they want to have something with you long term, versus them looking at you something short term, or for their midterm or benefit, so they can come up. Right. So I like I said, everyone try to find your gift, but you have to be a gift yourself. If you're not a gift, don't be out here saying, oh, well, okay, nobody want to be with me, because you ain't special. You know, you gotta, and it ain't about, you know, you gotta just get your game up and work out. Get some help. Talk to folks. Therapy. A lot of folks don't know this. People want to put it to white folks. Nah, a lot of black folk need therapy. They like to talk to somebody because a lot of folks got a lot of trauma from their past, from their childhood, or from what somebody did to them in college. And they 35, 40 years old, still walking around with that same ish on their back, and they wondering why they single or they don't stay in no long-term. You know, they get these 10-day contract relationships. They work with somebody for 2 or 3 weeks, and then the relationship's over with. Like, what the fudge? Yeah, you got a lot of issues. Nobody want to sign into no long-term deal. But yeah, that's what I want to say. Thank you for taking me on tonight.
No worries, bro. I appreciate your input on what you're looking for, man. Maybe this will help some brothers out as well. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But you know, we'll talk soon, man.
I hit you back. Holla.
All right, later. I hit you back. Holla. We'll talk later, bro. I'm about to bring the OG back on here to finish out. You know, I see the signal staying strong. All right, OG, where were we?
You talking this OG? You making me sound like I'm a super OG.
Hey, you in the 50s, so you in the 50s, so you're OG. But yeah, go ahead.
I don't know, man. I look younger than a lot of these dudes 10 years old, younger than me.
I told you you look young, but I'm just saying you're in your 50s, so you're OG.
And yeah. I don't use the gray stuff either. I'm just not my mom's not even gray at 7. She's a little gray, but she's not gray. But
right.
Hey, you know, you got to look for a woman that's agreeable, that can get through the arguments, and still love you at the end of the day, right?
Right.
And want to be involved in you and what you do. Some women don't care. Some women look down on what men do for us. If you got a woman that look down on what you do, cut her off. Because she don't respect what you do. She won't respect who you are. And I've ran into way more American women than outside of
here. We'll give him a couple seconds. I know he about to pop back on here. You know, every time you mention America or Dominican Republic, your joint just cut off. But yeah, he mentioned get a girl who is your cheerleader. You want a cheerleader. 30 is low for these chicks. People lie when there's no space to tell the truth. Women will lie because our reputation means everything. And most men don't want a woman with 30 plus bodies. I don't know. You got that data from a poll? What's happening? 30 plus bodies. Shit, 30 is a lot. You know. In all actuality, like I said, what they say, out of sight, out of mind, that's how I look at it, man. You know, we know you've been in these fields. If you're in your 30s, if you're in your 20s, especially if you went to college, you've been in these fields. So at the end of the day, we talk about, you know, people talk about the bonding, pair bonding, and, you know, all these things. That's cool. You know, but at the end of the day, I can't see myself just going around just doing detective work. Me personally, just going around just, hey babe, I got something I seriously need to talk to you about. And before this relationship goes any further, we need to have this serious discussion right now. How many dudes have you been with? And don't lie to me, because I'm gonna check the whole facts. How many dudes have you been with? And this is gonna tell, I can tell by looking at you how many you've been with. So if you lie to me, I'm going to know. And she's seriously gonna sit there and look at you. A woman, any woman with common sense is seriously gonna look at you and be like, are you serious right now? Like, are you dead serious? And whether she just do it out of fun or out of fear, she may tell you just what you want to hear, but I don't think whatever number she gives you, you're going to like it anyway. You know what I'm saying? So you have a number set in your mind of what she should say. And if she doesn't say it, you're going to be upset. You know what I'm saying? So it's that reputation regardless. One thing you can't do, and I learned this years ago, even if she is a hoe doesn't want to be called a hoe. A hoe doesn't want to feel like she's a hoe, even if she is a hoe. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It's a point you guys got to prove for ego. I get it. If you have knowledge of it, that's different. When I say knowledge, you know of this woman around the way. You know of her, you know, in these circles, in these fields, in these arenas, like old girl said on the video. You know that, you know, the homies have been smashing, and you know that she was a worker. You know that she was in the clubs. You know that she was an exotic dancer. You know that she was doing something strange for a piece of change on the regular, and you decide to wife her and then ask that question. That's different. But it's different because you already know what time it is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so it would matter, but then again, it doesn't matter because you already know what time it is. I'm not basically saying the slate should be wiped clean, but if you're going into a relationship, or if you're going into a situation where you want to talk to this woman and you see yourself where it eventually becoming serious, and you know this ahead of time, and then you're going to use her past against her, that's some whole shit as a man, in my opinion. You can look at it as simping all you want, but any man who constantly, and especially in a relationship, who constantly brings a woman's past up, you want some whole shit. You might as well let her go, man. Keep it moving. The ones that were wifed up then get divorced and hit the streets are the saddest ones to see. I will say a woman with a high body count would be more emotionally detached from sexual interactions. Some women can have sex with no emotion. That's true, but I mean, even women with high body counts can still get emotionally attached to men, though. As much as people like to say it's difficult, women with high body counts can still get emotionally attached to men, still go do all the things that attached women do. Women that go crazy over dudes, buy them stuff, you know, will do anything, have menages, all these other things that women who are crazy head over heels over guys do. You can still get a woman with a high body count attached. It's not like she's still a woman at the end of the day. We can say, okay, she may look at sex as something that's, you know, not as serious, or she's basically, you know, just look at it as men look at sex. She can do that. But she can still, like, women can still fall for a dude that have high, if she has a high body count. Happens all the time. Pair bond. Women with a lot of body counts can never pair bond. Wow. Also, a woman with a high body count may have low self-esteem. That, I mean, low self-esteem, insecurity. I guess some people can say that's the same thing, but they aren't. That's something altogether, you know, and this is for these adult film, you know, they have a, you know, a lot of them have those things in itself, you know, searching for, you know, that intimacy and willing to do anything for that intimacy. One that smokes weed and drinks daily or weekly cannot pair bond as well. On the women. Damn, man. So So if she smokes and drinks daily, she can't pair bond either. Damn, man, this woman got to be a damn clear mind. I mean, I can't deal with a woman that smokes weed anyway, man. Drinking, occasionally is cool, but a woman that smokes, she got to, because if you're doing that, I get it. And this goes for anybody. You're just trying to escape reality. If you can't function day to day unless you're in pain, I'll put it like that. But if you're smoking every day and you can't get your feet, when you get out of bed, your feet cannot touch the ground unless you light up first thing in the morning, then there's an issue there for sure. You know what I'm saying? There's some other, you're trying to alter reality. You're trying to escape reality. And a lot of people are living like that. You know what I mean? I can't deal with the woman that smokes in general because I just don't like smoke, or drunk for that matter. What affects a man's ability to pair bond? I'm curious. If it's a high body count for women, what is it for men? That's a very good question. What affects a man's ability to pair bond? I think, and I've said this before, men who jump from woman to woman doesn't really know who he is or what he wants at the end of the day. Or like this gentleman said, it's his ego. But at the end of the day, that gets old. You know what I'm saying? Like, it gets old. Like, you're not going to find peace sleeping with a bunch of women. And I don't care who disagrees with that. I covered that topic years ago as well on here. You're not going to find peace sleeping with a bunch of women. You aren't going to be able to pair bond because if you don't know who you are, you're going to keep doing that. You don't know what you want, you're going to keep doing that. You know what I mean? So that's how I look at it in terms of this whole pair bond concept, which is, I hear these guys using this lately. You know what I mean? The majority of women who complain about trauma have usually been passed around more times than a collection plate on Sunday. Damn. I get it, but there have been women who, I've encountered so many women. I've been on dates with so many women who have had some type of trauma or sexual trauma happen to them early on. You know what I mean? And it's almost like I'm destined to deal with that as far as when we get on the whole being a healer and an empath and things like that. That's just what I happen to encounter repeatedly is these type of women. So let me clarify that with cannabis, right? So my thoughts on cannabis, I don't smoke. So my thoughts on cannabis is obviously there's medicinal properties. If you're using it for pain, I don't know if I think I said that. I'll have to rewind it back. But if you're using it for pain, that's completely different. But if you're just using it to escape reality, to alter your mind state because you're insecure or because the biggest drug on this earth, the greatest drug on this earth is reality. And if you can't face reality and you got to get high, that goes for people drinking as well, to alter their mood, to relax and things like that. But if you're in pain, that's different, and you're using cannabis for pain. But if you're just using it just because, I become dependent on it because I like my mind state because of this, it puts me at ease. So I have to get high. Who are you without weed then? Are you just a frantic person that can't deal with their emotions? You can't naturally calm yourself down. You have to have these things. I understand it goes to the same thing. People who pop pills, I get it. You're popping pills because you aren't able to manage your anxiety to that point. But if you have to alter your mind state, same thing for people drinking, getting drunk, getting fucked up, because they have to depress themselves to that point to where they can just deal with reality. And some people can say that's mental health, in which we're getting off on all this whole stuff. I'm just responding to your super chat. If you smoke weed, man, do your thing. You know what I mean? I just say if you need it just to leave your house, I think there's an issue there. If you're doing it, if you're in pain, or if you have some other medical issue, in terms of that for pain or something like that, then yeah. But if you're just doing it just to be able to leave your house, there's an issue there. In my opinion, I don't smoke, but that's just my opinion on it. Just like any other drug. Attention is the biggest drug. This reality isn't real. That's a good one. A functioning smoker. Yeah, man. So we talking about weed and all this other shit. We got off on talking about that instead of back to people and what they're looking for. Everybody's got their preference, man. I don't knock what your preference are. I was just trying to get some ideas on what you guys thought, what you guys, thought process on what you're looking for. It seems like more people are cool with being single, cool with not being in a long-term relationship, people coming in and out of their lives. So for the people who are looking to have a serious long-term relationship or a significant other or a spouse, I just wanted to hear from everybody in terms of that. Facts. Ex-girlfriend that had a lot of trauma and anxiety could function without getting ripped off of dabs throughout the day. Some dabs, huh? Yeah. Bro, I smoked for 15 straight years daily. As soon as I got divorced, I slowed down tremendously. Book a session. Women, if a woman was raised to value her body, it implies a lot more to the quality of women she is. Yeah, the bachelor life doesn't sound bad these days. Not at all, man. Bachelor life is good, man. Come and go as you please. You don't have to worry about answering to anyone. I want to be in a long-term relationship. Sad to say I have to leave America for that. It'll be fun though. I don't think you have to leave America. I hear people, that's a preference if you want to leave America. Not, there are people out there, man. It's just, I guess some of you guys just get tired of the search and weeding through the BS and dealing with that, dealing with duds, dealing with being ghosted, dealing with the fickle BS, dealing with the representative that you're meeting those first 30 to 90 days and that person not really, and you're just wasting time, stuff like that, but there's always someone there, man. You just have to, when you just need to focus on living your life. That's what a lot of people be running into, man. If you focus on just living your life, man, it's gonna fall in your lap. Yeah, my lamp's tweaking, man. It's gonna fall in your lap. And that's how you got to think about it, man. Don't be pressed. Anything in life, man, that law of attraction, all that stuff like that, you can't be pressed. Everything you want will come unsolicited, as long as you're not pressed. When you're pressed and you're just trying to, I gotta find that person, I gotta get married. I know it's I'm not saying it's easier for women, because it's not. And it's definitely not easier for men, especially if you're trying to rush it and you're trying to find that person. They're like, I just got to get married. I just got to find that person. You're looking everywhere. You're going to clubs, you're going to bars, you're going down aisle 6 in Walmart, trying to find that special person. And it's just not happening. And if you just chill, you just relax, that whole biblical, just be still, it'll fall in your lap. It always does. It always does just fall in your lap. You have to detach yourself from that outcome and it'll fall in your lap. And this goes for everything in life. For those of you who don't know, I'm a living witness of that. If you just detach yourself from the outcome of getting that person, man, it'll happen, man. You never seen me speak on the Pookies and Tyrones. Man, I got videos from 2017 on Pookies and Tyrones. I haven't talked about it late. I think I did some on Pookie and Ray Rays and Tyrones. I got a video called the Tyrone Effect. If you haven't seen it, I got a couple videos on the Tyrone Effect. You look it up and check it out. This Tyrone Effect, which is basically anytime you're dating, I'll run it down to you. Those of you who aren't familiar with the Tyrone Effect, which I coined that. I coined that like back in 2012 when I, kind of 2010. Shoot, that was like 11 years ago when I came across that concept. The Tyrone Effect. For you dudes that are out in the dating games and you trying to show a woman a good time, you know what I'm saying? You come across a beautiful woman, you're trying to show her a good time. Tyrone is in the cut somewhere, maybe even at home while she's out with you. You're whining and dining her, and you go home, and she tells you she had a good night, gives you a nice church hug, sends you on your way, and you may go home disappointed. Tyrone is sitting at home playing Call of Duty, maybe getting lit, waiting for her to come back. As soon as she comes back, and she may even gotten some takeout from wherever you took her to eat at, a nice 5-star restaurant. She brings the takeout home to Tyrone, and Tyrone proceeds to blow her back out. While you're sitting there just thinking of the next date and how you're gonna, you're planning your life out with her and having kids and all these other things while she's, emotionally attached to Tyrone. Meanwhile, Tyrone doesn't give a damn about her. Tyrone is probably banging other women on the side and things like that. And that's how it goes. That's part of the Tyrone Effect. But the other part of the Tyrone Effect is it's a cycle. This whole chase thing, it's a cycle. We're always chasing after somebody who doesn't feel the same way about us, right? We're always going after someone who doesn't feel the same way. It's an unrequited desire. I'm chasing after this woman. This woman isn't feeling me like this, but she wants to be with Tyrone. Tyrone doesn't want to be with her. Tyrone just uses her as sex, but Tyrone may be trying to get with his baby mama, but his baby mama's not feeling with him like that, and she's chasing after this other guy. So it's just a constant cycle, which I call the Tyrone Effect, and that's just the way it is. We're always chasing after somebody who doesn't feel the same way about us, and it's weird. It's that way that life is just like that. You know what I mean? At least in my estimation, from what I've experienced in talking to people, you know what I mean? That's how it is. So how can the unrequited desire effect be fixed? Oh, that's a good question. So I ain't being Tyrone's stepdad, these kids. So you can't fix. Only way you can fix an attachment you have to somebody is to walk away. You can't make anybody be with you that doesn't want to be with you, right? You can chase somebody after a certain amount of time, but the quickest way, most times, the quickest way to get someone's attention is to remove yours. And if that doesn't work, then, as they say, you'll get someone better. That person is just not meant to be with you. You know what I'm saying? So you can't chase. People keep chasing people. That's the problem. We keep chasing people that really don't want to be with us. You know what I'm saying? The more you chase people, the more you push them away. The more you put that person on a pedestal, and this whole law of attraction thing, when it comes to relationships and people, it's not the same. It's completely different with the law of attraction. You have to detach yourself completely from that person, regardless of how much it hurts. So that's where that unrequited desire, you won't really fix it, but you kind of have your dignity, because you can only do it to a certain point. Or you can do like Erykah Badu says, You can keep chasing and chasing and chasing and chasing, and humiliating yourself, chasing this person, humiliating yourself, until finally that light bulb goes off and you evolve. As she says, you'll evolve, and then you no longer, will have this desire for this person anymore. Lots of good people get slept on due to that. I was telling a young lady earlier, like I said, when we had the live, women are allowed to mess up a lot more with dating than men are. Like a man, you can say the wrong thing to a woman, and especially if she got options, a lot of times she'll ghost your ass real quick. But a woman can mess up several times, and guys, we'll let that shit slide. Women, not so much. Women have placeholders like men. Women will date the nice guy because they're easier to deal with. And unfortunately, women will date the nice guy to have something to do, and she'll fantasize that fairy tale that Tyrone would do what the nice guy is doing. That's where the fantasy comes in. She'll take the pictures. She'll be at dinner with this guy. Like, this is, the nice guy will be giving her some culture, showing her some different things. In the back of her mind, she's knowing Tyrone will never do this, but she's fantasizing in her mind that he would. But if he did, he would cease to be Tyrone, if that makes sense. Yeah, women are weird. But hey, Tyrone effect, aka the alpha widow, pull back and change the dynamic. Don't cast pearls before swine. This means to not give things to people who don't appreciate you or what you do. If you're chasing, that means they're running. Exactly. Damn, who is telling women the average man has placeholders? That's strictly y'all and top, man. That was bars like Jadakiss and Versus. Ladies, 1 hour a day, 3 days a week of weightlifting and cardio will get you a badass body. Okay, women have been mistakenly led to believe that they are prized and they are not. I mean, it's by default. Girls are taught that they're princesses. You know what I'm saying? They're princesses, and they, and it's not to throw women under the bus, because women are one of the, if not one of the greatest creations ever. But it's just the way being raised in society and, social media. Men throw good women away all the time for the same women they're complaining about now because they don't look a certain way. Power because women have the BIC. Okay. One is peace, the other one is a P word. Jay Daniels, right? Yeah, till we hit, then the power disappears. I didn't get P from my ex on a regular. That's facts. Women will most likely date the nice guy after having kids. With the bad boys, yep. I've seen women hate us the same way that other races hate us. No one should have to take that, but it's difficult when so many use their experience to play. We like equality too. Girls purposely do things to make you chase them too. The Disney effect of princesses and lies. Yep, debatable. JR, if there are more women than men, why do dudes act so thirsty behind them? Yeah, it's the dude's fault though. KP, it's the dude's fault. Dudes create the environment. They set the trends in the market. It's the men that are doing it. No such thing as good or bad women. They're either submissive and cooperative or they aren't. Why do dudes act so thirsty behind them? that I don't know, man. That's how it is. It's the way the game is, man. It's the way the game is, unfortunately, and that's how it's going to be. With time we'll all see, man, because everybody's going to get old. That's for sure. So that's why they say love the one you love, I guess. Men are not cooperative because there's many of them in jail. Bruh, like, I don't know, man. This is a time, what a time to be alive right now. for men and women. What a time to be alive. I think like the OG said earlier, man. He said it was on the last one. He was like it was easier to date or deal with, you know, back when he was growing up as opposed to now. There's a book called Sex and Culture, Men Cater to Women, and gives women sexual liberation. When women sleep around, men lose interest in them and won't care about them. Quantity doesn't matter if the market won't sell to you. Very interesting. I don't know. I just look at it, man, like just be yourself. Don't try to be something you're not. Don't try to be a player. You know, just be yourself. Whatever is meant to be with you, it will find its way. You know, it'll fall in your lap. And that's when you know it's genuine. You know, it's genuine. You don't need to be dealing with the BS, you know, especially with people that you know for sure. But we want things that we can't have, and we want things that look like, you know, that's shiny and glittery and things like that. And at the end of the day, it's not really, once we get it, it's like, man, this isn't it. Behind every, and it goes the same thing for men, but women, behind every beautiful woman, there's a dude who's really like, if he's simping real hard, he's in misery, or he's with her and he's just like, this ain't it, man. This ain't it. As fine as she looked, this ain't it, man. I read that. Do you think that women regret wrecking their own home with a good guy for a Tyrone letter? Do you think women regret wrecking their own home with a good guy for a Tyrone? Especially 27 and older. You mean, do they regret wrecking their home for a Tyrone? Like I was explaining earlier, man, women like a challenge, man. Women live in the moment. Women like something exciting, even if it's to their detriment. You know what I'm saying? Women like exciting things. Women don't like something that's predictable. They like, like I said, the young lady, she was like, that's not true. That's not true. I like a guy to buy me flowers and all. Man, that quickest way to get friend zone, buy a woman some flowers and tell her you like her. That's the quickest way to get your ass friend zone. Be nice to a woman in terms of call her, give her a good morning text and a good evening text. Man, she'll friend zone your ass so quick. A woman has to think about, a woman has to have her head fucked up over a man. She has to be like really thinking about this guy. Like, I have to wonder about, does this guy like me? I think he likes me or whatever. She has to be like thinking about this dude at work, talking to her coworkers, talking to whoever about this dude. If she's not doing that, like, she's not into you, man. So it's, a woman needs that uncertainty. She's attracted to that uncertainty. Is this guy's feelings, you know, I don't know if he, you know, his feelings aren't clear. I don't know what's going on. He's indifferent. That's what a woman is attracted to, you know. So maybe later, like you said, later in life, you know, but I think when it comes to the fact of the security later in life, she may look at that, but at the end of the day, I think even later in life, she still wants the Tyrone, even though I think she realizes that the good guy was the right thing to do. She still likes the Tyrone. So that's to answer your question. The real question is, how many of those men are in jail because of unsubmissive and uncooperative women? Man, this shit jump quick. Children are the future, adults. Black Jerusalem, what's happening? Baby mama percentage. If she's bored, she will. Cat and mouse thing, long run. That's all it takes. I mean, even married women like attention from just regular dudes outside of their husbands. They like getting attention. They like getting that. And if they don't get it, they feel like something's wrong. You know what I'm saying? Investing in exciting is childish. Facts, and that's sad. Get your purpose money up. Everything costs money at the end of the day. Grown men need to pursue grown men wages. You ain't remember that one song, Girls Just Want to Have Fun? That's it. Women will wreck their home if bored. Femininity can be reckless. Masculinity brings stability. A woman must feel like stability can be taken away from her at any time. Absolutely. You must be worth losing. You got to be worth losing, man. Or you really don't, or the perception that you're worth losing, because you cannot have a damn dime in your pocket and she can feel like you're worth losing. And she'll do any and everything for that dude that don't even got a dime in his damn pocket, because it's that feeling, which a lot of guys want to argue with me on this channel. You don't know what you're talking about, JR. It's all about the money. It's all about the money. Women don't care about how you make them feel. It's all about how much money. Man, y'all know how stupid y'all sound? Y'all do. You can tell who ain't never had no interaction with no women. Women care about how much money you got. She don't care about how you make her feel. Dude, it's all about how you make a woman feel. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, I'll be reading some of these comments. I'll be like, what the hell? What, have y'all ever been with a woman? This shit is crazy. That's a woman is grounded in feelings. Man, all that money, like, you have some women who are just out for money, which is understandable, but we're just talking about in general, a connection. You give a woman a certain feeling, man. That's where that attachment comes in. And it's going to be hard for her to get out of that. That's why that first impression, fellas, in the bed, you got to, yeah, you got to rise to the occasion. The problem is I want a black woman, but they're basically the leaders to what is going on, in my opinion, after what I've been seeing. It's like, now I have to accept an interracial relationship. You mean Ty Roach? That's a good one. I had both security and spontaneous actions in a good way, like surprise trip gifts. Still wasn't enough. Hell no, that's not going to be enough. You can do all that shit, man. You can pay her rent and her car note. All that gift stuff, man. That gift and roses and all that shit like that. Even if y'all in a relationship, you have to do that shit sparingly. Women love a man that can lead and have confidence. It's a big factor in a relationship. Women go nuts for men with that swagger. When I was indifferent, it was making all the difference, and it was much cheaper. That's what it's all about. But that indifference, man, it's a slippery slope with that indifference. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you're starting out. But once you got her attached, that's when you can really flip that switch on. Like full blown. You can take it from that 60% to 100 once you get her attached. It's not about money. Women will simp for dudes who make her feel the type of way, especially if he's fine. That fine shit don't got nothing to do with it unless she's not a pretty woman. You know, women be simping over ugly dudes. That's not attractive dudes over midgets. Excuse me. No offense to small people, but yeah. Women will, it's a feeling. It's a feeling. That's what it's about. Women overlook a man's looks all the time. Men with money will get played if you don't make her feel good. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yep, chasing the bag just to cover you'll be a tool versus a gift. She just didn't appreciate you and those things. All women aren't like that. Money is for you to build. Women make rules for betas and break them for alphas. That was the only woman I ever did that for, but you're right, and that was my actual wife. See, it's not simping when it's your wife. I kind of said that the other day. It's questionable. Now you can act like a beta or like you can act like a bitch with your wife, but it's questionable. And somebody told me this. I had an OG tell me this. When it's your wife, it's different. in terms of what simping is with your wife, especially sometimes if you're trying to get her back or reel her back in, you know, but because it's your wife, you know what I mean? But you can act like a bitch with your wife and completely turn her off because she's still a woman and she still looks for the same things. She's looking for a masculine man who's basically, you know, is security. If you're acting like you're putting her on a pedestal and acting like you can't live without her, and she's looking at him like, I'm looking down at this peasant begging me to be in his life, while Tyrone is out here and he's like, yeah. So all that logic, we try to be logic, men, you guys try to be logical with women, all that. You can't be logical with women. Women aren't logical when it comes to that, to the feelings, when it comes to what you're able to do for her and things like that. That feelings trump logic any day of the week. So you just need to keep that in mind. My question is, are y'all working and still caring this much? I'm still in college, so I have the time, but I don't see myself stressing over these type of women when I'm a working man. It's simping if she doesn't reciprocate, which was my issue. It's a musty hood dude somewhere smashing a 10% man's girl. Absolutely. Always. I know a woman who was with a man with money and left him for someone else making way less. Why? Because she said he was able to teach her. The other guy couldn't do that. He stimulated her mentally. That's what it is. But like I said, I've heard so many. I'm just like, y'all just, it's about the money, bro. You don't know what you're talking about. How you sound? It's about the money. To what degree should let me try to read that. Should we separate feelings from a relationship with women? We both can't be emotional or it is doomed to fail. Ironically, they say they want men to express their feelings. Women don't want you to express your feelings. No, if a woman says that to you, don't ever. That's what she. What a woman says she wants and what she emotionally, listen to what I'm saying. What she says she wants and what she emotionally responds to are two separate things. Don't ever tell a woman when she says express your feelings to her. That's going to turn her off immediately. That's not your job to do that. The number one, like you just said, stoic, stay stoic. The turn on for woman is her not knowing. That's a complete turn on by you telling her, you know, that's why women are constantly asking you, why don't you tell me you love me? Tell me you love me. Do you love me? Do you love me? Tell me you love me. Do you love me? Do you love me? Tell me you love me. Why don't you tell me you love me? Do you love me? Tell me you love me. Do you love me? Tell me you love me. Why don't you tell me you love me? Do you love me? I know you guys have heard that, right? So, and hit one if you've heard that. If you haven't heard that, maybe it's just me. But hit one if you've heard that, guys. You know what I mean? So I'm saying that to say you can't do that. You can't do that. Maybe in a moment, maybe in bed, you can utter those three words. Right? Very toxic, right? But see, I like that. That's player right there. The OG has spoken. Facts. There's always a woman right here, and I hate to say that. It's always a woman saying some stuff like this, trying to be contrary. about how attraction works. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't. That shit don't work on me. That shit don't. That'll complete turn me off. That shit don't work on me. Bruh, that shit works on you. That shit works on you. You know, that shit works on you. Because it's gonna drive. It drives you crazy. It drives you crazy. And a woman has to feel like you're better than her. She has to feel like she has to be fucked up over you. She has to feel like you're better than her. And she hates the fact that she feels that way, but she loves that shit. That's just how it is. Being vulnerable or expressing your emotions reveals the cracks in your armor, therefore exposing your woman to her own feelings of not feeling secure. I think it's weird for a dude to tell a woman that. It's not your place to say that. Just like it's not your place to start a relationship. It's not your place to bring up having a relationship with a woman. As much as women will say, nah, I need to know that he wants to be in a relationship. Hell nah. That's not your job to say anything about a relationship, just like that's not your job to say that. That's me. This is me all day. I ain't capping either, man. That's me all day right there. You know. Do you think men are naturally meant to be monogamous? I think men are naturally meant to be polyamorous. In my opinion. I think that's how it's supposed to be naturally, you know. Monogamy is what they say. Love. What is it? Love is cursed by monogamy. So that's facts. Biologically, we have to look at it biologically. I mean, what they say, an island full of women and one man, as opposed to an island full of men and one woman. How long is that gonna last? Don't ever. I did this shit right here before. I was dating an older woman one time. This before I even knew all this shit. This is like right after I got divorced. I was separated. I think I was separated from my wife. And I asked her, I think I was like 32. She was like 39. And I asked her that question right there on some straight up simp shit. And I know she was like, what the fuck? She was like, huh? I forgot what she said. She was like, what do you think we are? I don't like that. And you know, when a woman when you then turned her off, well, I don't like to put labels on anything. Basically, she's saying, I just want to have fun. Why are you doing this? You just turned me off with this whole, what are we? You're not doing yourself any favors, guys. Cut that shit out. Facts. Don't take advice, even if you're talking to her and she's trying to tell you, do not take advice from her in terms of like what she says this is what I need you to tell me this, because she's setting herself up and she's setting you up as well, you know. But she doesn't know it because she doesn't even understand what she's attracted to. So just my experience, just my thoughts, man. It's brutal out here, man. You cannot be this emotional guy from the movies. You can't be this guy straight out of the movies, guys. It's not realistic. All this stuff you see on TV and music videos and rap videos and Jodeci, you know, and Silk and all these groups, man, nah. You can't do that, man. That stuff, bruh. Quickest way to get dismissed and ghosted. That's not how you do things, man. So, but guys, it has been real, you know. I usually only stay on here for like 2 hours. I went past 2 hours tonight. I appreciate all the support. I appreciate you guys tuning in. You know, I think this is my third one. This is my third live since I started back, you know, with these Sunday nights. I've been trying to do, you know, 2 a week. I'm going to try to be consistent with 2 a week, coming with different topics just to get you guys' opinions on it, you know, see what you guys think. I'm going to answer this question and I'm out of here. If men are the gatekeepers, to relationships, shouldn't they be initiating it and setting the terms? If men know what they want, shouldn't they make the move? Not true. Men are not the gatekeepers to relationships. They are the gatekeepers to marriage. And I guess you can consider that a relationship. It has to be a woman's idea for a relationship. It's very feminine of a man to come to a woman saying that, what are we? I want to be in a relationship with you. I want us to move forward with that. That's a woman's decision to move forward with that relationship, as far as, you know, this cultivating, nurturing side of her to go that far. It has to be her idea. It has to be. It can't be a man's idea. It's because she's going to look at that's some feminine stuff. Because a woman, a lot of times, you can't, a lot of times you don't know what's going on in that, even though you may feel it, you don't know what's going on in that woman's head. And you lose the power by even bringing that topic up to her. Like, I think we should make this official, make this a relationship. You know, we should be, you know, just me and you, just monogamous. I don't want you seeing anybody else. Nah. That's not for them. That's for a woman to do at that point. Marriage, that's different. Right? If he wants to make you his wife, that's completely different. You know what I mean? In my estimation, at least. That's how I feel about it. Appreciate you, Wiz. Was a stress reliever. Men choose who they marry. Possessiveness will tell you what you are to her. Okay. Yeah. This isn't the gospel. This is just my opinion. All right. So you can take it how you want to take it. You have to be the dragon slayer. But yo, once again, man, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Shout out to everybody on the super chat, man. I really appreciate you guys for the super chats. You know, like I said, I'm just starting to pick up on these lives. I'm gonna try to do like 2 a week, get back in the game. You know, discuss some real topics instead of the you know, the videos. Obviously, I have fun, you know, doing the commentary and stuff like that, but I try to talk on more serious issues like this, you know, and try to throw some comedy in there as well. But I try to talk on more serious issues and to get you guys ideas as far as the community and how you feel about things. You know what I mean? Oh, she's from the UK. 3 a.m. in London, past my bedtime. Just for a little bit, you know what I mean? Yeah, so yeah. I'll catch you guys on the next one. You know, make sure you guys hit me up on Calendly, the book that one-on-one. Hit me up on J Ross Writing to purchase all my books, all my products and things like that. If you haven't purchased any of my books, make sure you get them. You can see it right here on the the little bar, the little banner that's sliding across right there, all my links. Check out in the Wibbia toolbar below the description. Cheers, mate. You know, for all my merch, you know, all the t-shirts. Pick yourself up a Reform Simp t-shirt or an Ascended t-shirt as well, or just a JR Wisdom t-shirt to show your support. You know what I'm saying? That being said, man, shout out to everybody who gave a super chat, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace be upon you and the mercy and blessings of the Almighty. And remember, anything lost can be found again except for time wasted. And I will see you guys on the next one. I'm out of here. Peace. Later.